to this edition of Garbage Time on UWW-TV. I'm Nadiri Morgan Thompson, and this week I'm joined by Eli Stickles and Michael Hernan. And our job for the next 30 minutes is to simply talk sports. So let us begin. I think it's only right that we start by talking about the World Series.
Can I just say, what did I just watch? What a crazy game that was, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that was a crazy one.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I mean, I'm just very impressed about Los Angeles Dodgers doing something that they haven't done in almost 25 years. They are the first team to go win back-to-back World Series championships since the New York Yankees in their three-peat dynasty from 1999 to 2001. And what this Game 7 proved to me is that the Dodgers, they know how to win baseball games. They know how to win, especially when the moment gets tough. We saw that with Miguel Rojas homer, and we saw that with Will Smith homer. This baseball team knows how to win with that championship
They
pedigree.
100% know how to win, and I think that that's the bare minimum, right? When you spend this much money on a team, you don't want to end up like the Mets. You don't want to end up like the Yankees. You want to end up like the Dodgers, back-to-back champions. They're going on a three-peat, and they have more money to spend, and they look to just do everything once again.
Yeah, and give credit to Yoshinobu Yamamoto throughout this entire series. I mean, he pitched a complete game in Game 2, pitched 6 immaculate ones as well, and then closed it out. So just one impressive, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, what he's done, won the World Series MVP, what an impressive start in his first 2 years in the MLB.
Yeah, 100%. And I know people who used to call the Dodgers the LA Otanis, and I think everybody else on the team is really proving their rank and showing how much they mean to the team.
You just also call this team Team Japan. The amount of Japanese superstars on this team, it's insane. You have Roki Sasaki. Well, I'm not sure if he's Japanese or not.
Mm-hmm. He is.
Okay, he is. All right. You have Shohei Ohtani, and you have
Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
But I think we have to spend some time talking about the Blue Jays, right? Is Toronto cursed? Are the Blue Jays cursed? I mean, what is it? They have not been able to complete it on the biggest stage.
I don't think I've seen a team choke so hard in my life. Literally, you're up you're up 4-3 with 2 outs away from winning the World Series. Home run tie game. We go to the extra innings. You have you have the bases loaded with 1 out. You still cannot capitalize. And guess what? Will Smith goes on to hit a home run, 5-4. Dodgers win it. Man, that is a hard
if there's
choke.
one way to lose a baseball game, the Blue Jays show us, and they show us time and time again. I don't even know what do you do going into the offseason. Obviously you're going to try to bring back some key pieces. You're going to try to spend some more money. But what changes do you guys think that the Blue Jays can make to be better next season?
But my thing is about the biggest thing about this Blue Jays offseason, Bo Bichette's a free agent.
Yeah.
He's a free agent. He played What amazes me about Bichette is he's normally a shortstop, but since Ernie Clement has been playing so well, they moved him over to second. So my thing is, Bo Bichette's such a great bat when healthy. So my thing is, are the Blue Jays going to be able to open up the pockets just like they did with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. During the regular season?
I think that's one of the only ways that they really have a chance to compete is if they open up their wallets. You know what I mean? If there's one way to stay competitive in today's MLB with no cap space, with no salary cap, is you have to open up your pocket. You have to spend your most money. The World Series champion, reigning champion, back-to-back champion is the most expensive team in the league. I don't think it's a coincidence.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. We're living in a world where, the salary cap is no longer a thing. And plus, now it brings up the argument about if we're going to have baseball in 2027 because, how the Dodgers and Brewers series went and now how the Dodgers and Blue Jays series went. And it's going to be very interesting. We're going to talk about once like a year later when we're talking about 2027. But yeah, this brings up a pretty interesting epidemic here in the MLB.
Yeah, no, 100%. And, moving over to a different sport, the NBA, they just started, right? Opening night was not too long ago, and how have you guys felt about the season so far?
Yeah, so far I want to focus on the Oklahoma City Thunder. So they defeated the New Orleans Pelicans over a couple nights ago. They won 137-106. We want to talk about this Oklahoma City Thunder team. The title defense is going greatly. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is continuing to be an MVP. Chet Holmgren is continuing to be that big. And, of course, Jalen Williams.
He hasn't even played yet.
He hasn't even came back from injury.
But I think that, speaking of that game, we always knew the Thunder were going to be great. I think the more surprising thing is how terrible the Pelicans are, right? 6 or 7 games into the season, the Pelicans are the worst team in the league by far, right? There are people on Twitter, people all over the media calling for their head coach to be fired. They just traded for Jordan Poole in the offseason. He's terrible. He's so angry with the team. Zion Williamson, he's looking good. They've been starting DeAndre Jordan, 37-year-old center they signed a week ago. They didn't even have him open tonight over their rookie center that they traded their first-round pick going into this next season and they're the worst team in the league. They don't have a first. Their team looks terrible. I mean, what can the Pelicans do?
Yeah, DeAndre Jordan in the big 2025 is definitely something. But, I just think that, give this time for this group to develop. But we'll see overall. Tough start with Zion. It'll be interesting to see what the Pelicans do with Zion Williamson, especially.
100%.
Especially, he's been decent. But he's very good when healthy. But can he stay healthy? That's the biggest thing for New Orleans.
But yeah, I mean, we were talking about the Thunder who just had a hot start. And I think another team that started phenomenal and nobody was expecting it was the Bulls, right? The Bulls started off 5-0. They're currently 5-1. And the power of friendship is working for them, right? They're led by Josh Giddey. And Josh Giddey was kind of like the dynasty starts without you for the Thunder. They traded away Josh Giddey and they immediately went to the championship. They won the championship. They're doing phenomenal without Josh Giddey. But Josh Giddey is kind of trying to be the James Harden of the situation, right? Remember the Thunder, they had Russell, they had Harden, they had KD. They traded Harden. Harden flourished. Josh Giddey is trying to be that again. How have you guys felt about that?
Honestly, I find it surprising. The Bulls have still yet to play their first overall pick, their first round pick from this year's draft.
Yes.
I'm curious how he's going to do, but Josh Giddey and the rest of the Bulls, I'm not really expecting this start out of them. They tend to be usually very mid. If we just go back to the 2010s, you have Derrick Rose. He could lead us to a title, but now this is a whole other era. The Bulls, I mean, they're not talked about like the 90s. This is the 2020s, so we'll just have to see how the rest of this decade goes for them. We're 5 years in. We'll just see how the rest goes.
I mean, speaking of illustrious franchise, I thought we have to talk about the Lakers and Trailblazers again.
Oh, man. Lakers and Trailblazers. This is quite a game. The Lakers, without Luka Doncic, without Austin Reeves, or whoever number 12 was, and without LeBron James, DeAndre Ayton, 29 points, 10 rebounds, 3 block shots against his former team. Can't forget about Advia. I should have taken some time to pronounce his name. 33 points, 6 rebounds, 10 for 11 at the free throw line. I feel like what killed the Trailblazers in this game was their inconsistency. They went 9 for 40 at behind the arc. There are 42 for 85 in field goals. The Lakers will go on to win this game 123-115. Regular season series is now tied at 1.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing to talk about with the Trailblazers this year is that their head coach is currently in a federal prison, right? Chauncey Billups was arrested for, the gambling ring. And I don't want to talk too much about the negatives of that, but they promoted Tiago Splitter to be their new interim head coach. You have to wonder, as a locker room, if Chauncey Billups won the locker room, can Tiago Splitter do the same, right? The Trailblazers, they have some new additions. They got Drew Holiday this year. They're looking to be a team to make a play-in push, and they have a lot of changes. It's really interesting. But speaking of the sport of basketball, I think we can't, not talk about the Warhawk basketball team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, of course, you look at, first of all, I want to start with the UW Whitewater men's. I mean, it's going to be very interesting, coming off of 11-14 season last year. How are they going to do? They opened up the season against Ripon. So I'd be very interested. They got a couple guys returning from last year's squad, of course, Carter Crabstrand leading the bunch. But I'll be very interested to see what this Warhawk team does this year.
I'm interested too. I mean, they lost 2 big seniors. They lost Carter Crabstrand and they lost Jameer Barker. Their point guard and their forward, and I think those were 2 very big additions that they lost. But they also have some good returning seniors. They have Jesse Berezowicz, the point guard, and they also have Richie James, who played a big role in the season towards the end of the year.
Oh, yeah, I meant Capstrand was gone. Yeah, my bad. But it'll be very interesting, looking like a younger team this year. Of course, you have a guy, Trent Grunwald, you want to talk about?
Yeah, Trent Grunwald, a standout freshman. Last year for the Howards Grove Tigers in high school, he averaged 20.4 points per game, leading the team with 509 total points. He also led the team in rebounds per game with 7.8, assists per game with 4.8, 110 in total. He was also very helpful on the defense. He had 36 steals and 13 blocks, leading the team to a 21-4 record and a conference title. Playoff run didn't really last long. They got killed in the regionals.
But I mean, another freshman I want to talk about is Agape Keys Jr., right? He's a freshman. He went to the Milwaukee Academy of Science. The Milwaukee Academy of Science is coming off of a championship. They won a state championship at their division level. And Agape Keys, I mean, a lot of the top team players in the team, Jamarion Bateman went to Iowa State. All these players went high level with D1, and he was in the same locker room with those guys, playing with those guys, winning at the highest level with those guys. I think he's a really underrated pickup, but I think we can't forget about the Lady Hawks.
Yeah, I think UW Whitewater, I think they could run it back this year. Of course, we saw them in the Sweet 16. Casey, I know they're coming off a loss of Casey Corello. I mean, she was a really good D3 athlete, but you look at this UW-Whitewater team, trying to fill in some replacements there. I think they have a bunch of freshmen, sophomores are now coming into sophomores and juniors. Of course, the junior class coming to senior class. I think this UW-Whitewater team can still be pretty good this year.
I could definitely be totally wrong on this, but my standout freshman for the ladies, I have Brooke Stenclift, who led Cambridge in points per game with 21.4, 577 points total. She also led them in assists per game with 4.4. She was also very helpful on the defense. She led the team in steals per game and steals with 2.6 steals per game, 69 steals in total. Nice. She led the team to a 19-8 record and a regional championship as well. So it's going to be pretty different without D3 Hoops All-American Casey Corello, who averaged 15.1 points per game for the Warhawks, which is the 5th highest all-time, the 2nd highest all-time scorer at UWW with 1,828 points, all-time rebounds leader at 902, and all-time leader in three-pointers made with 239.
She's arguably our GOAT. She's definitely somebody that you can never forget about, and looking forward into the season, she's going to be a big loss. But let's take a short break, and when we return, we'll sort through our remaining sports garbage. Stay tuned.
Matt checking in to see how Sam is doing on his project, and it's getting close to exporting now, the final step in the process. And it is complete, and Sam is hyped. Finally gets complete and spikes the ball into the end zone. Sam's celebrating with his colleagues, and they throw a flag on the play. The ref's going to call excessive celebration. Sam is in disbelief and can't believe it. He tries to dispute the call, but the ref is not having any of it.
You can see it. His potential, that is. You see it even when he may not. You see that the things that spark his interest today will in time ignite the things he pursues tomorrow. And ultimately, help him reach new heights. All he needs now is a way to make it happen. We are the Universities of Wisconsin. 13 universities, unlimited opportunity.
Have you heard of UROC?
We're part of Whitewater and our own thing.
Come on, we'll show you.
I learned how to be a college student here, and now I'm headed off to Madison to study global health, and I know I'm ready.
People like me who aren't a fan of big crowds would really like UROC because it's welcoming and it's laid back.
My advisor helped me figure out my schedule, organize my time, fill out my FAFSA, and figure out what classes I liked and how to turn that into a major. And if I had to do it again, I would choose UROC. You ready to rock? You belong here.
Sports fans, we cheer on our favorite teams at fields, gyms, arenas, and stadiums. But have you ever wondered what it's like to be a referee? Verbal abuse from fans, parents, and coaches is the #1 reason why many referees are walking away. And they're not being replaced quickly enough by new ones. So put yourself in the official shoes. Act with respect, and be officially human.
Welcome back to Garbage Time on UWW TV. Let's continue with more sports. Next, we have to talk about the Warhawk football team. Oh my goodness. 52-14, they lost to River Falls. First time losing since before all of us were born. I mean, this is...
Good grief, man. This was just terrible. First time losing to River Falls since 2001. The Warhawks, we turned over the ball 3 times and not including a turnover on downs. We fumbled the ball twice, and we threw 1 interception. We were forced to 7 punts. Yikes. Only scoring 14 points against a team we always beat. I mean, we usually beat, and then we repeat history in since 2001. Yeah, I mean,
this was a rough one, and every week, right, I come out here and I talk bad about Justin Klinkner, right? He's one of the worst quarterbacks in the Whiteout Conference, but I don't want to sit here and talk about him today because he had a good game. He actually played well. He only threw 1 interception. He had 2 touchdowns. I can't even be mad about him. But every week, I talk positively about our secondary, our defense, and they got absolutely torched. They let Caleb Blah have 492 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. I mean, I was hurt. I was in my dorm crying.
He's an All-American for a reason.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you look at Caleb Blaha. I mean, he just proved for UW River Falls. I mean, of course, you mentioned something about UW Whitewater secondary. You just got to give credit to Caleb Blaha.
Yeah.
I mean, Caleb Blaha is definitely one of the better quarterbacks in Division III football. Of course, he said 492, 5 passing touchdowns. He went 30 for 51 as well. So he's a high completion percentage there as well. And plus, one other thing I want to mention about UW Whitewater. What gets them going? Their run game. And who was leading? Our leading rusher had 16 rushing yards. 16, and that was Dark Hill. He had 3 attempts for 16 yards. That is kind of an issue for UW Whitewater. I mean, if we want to win these big-time games like that, we just got to find a way to run the football.
Yeah, I mean, and Brian Stedden, who's been our leading rusher all year, had 4 carries for -3 yards. I mean, that is just purely abysmal. Our offensive line did nothing, and we have to talk about how Caleb Baha also had 2 touchdowns on the ground as well. 2 touchdowns on the ground. It was crazy.
Yeah, it is really crazy. And especially the fact that he had 76 yards on the ground as well. Like, that's what you see out of an All-American quarterback. He can basically do it all.
100%.
And plus, the receiver battle was really good in this one as well. I mean, Jack West Brooks had 5 receptions for 102 yards in River Falls. Blake Aurora had 5 receptions for 135 yards. So
Yeah, I
great
mean,
showing for the receivers.
They did phenomenal. But, I mean, moving up a couple levels of football, I feel like we have to talk about the NFL, the trade deadline, you know, the recap of the week. How do you feel about everything?
I was kind of a very interesting NFL trade deadline entering the final day. I mean, the thing that was the biggest shocker today in my eyes was Sauce Gardner getting traded to the Indianapolis Colts.
Yes.
I mean, that was big time, and the Colts, they had a good defense themselves. They just got even better with Gardner.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts went all in. They spent 2 of their first rounders and one of their young receivers in A.D. Mitchell for Sauce Gardner. And I really love that they're trying to go all in. My only concern is that their starting quarterback is Daniel Jones, right? I don't know
Why
how far
are you concerned?
It's Daniel Jones.
Dude, Daniel Jones is an MVP candidate. And I just think that Daniel Jones is a product of Shane Steichen. He's just
Daniel
a great
Jones
offensive
isn't
mind.
even the best player on that offense, right? The real MVP candidate on that team is Jonathan Taylor.
Yes, I agree.
Let's be real.
I agree. But Daniel Jones has been
Daniel
playing.
Jones is having a good year, but you also remember he's a game manager. He's playing within the system. In the playoffs, does football get different? Yes or no?
Yes, it does.
So Daniel Jones is having this phenomenal season. He's playing the best people he's played all year. He's going to face some defenses and some schemes that he didn't see at all during the regular season. And Daniel Jones has shown consistently throughout his career that he's not that good. He's having one good year, but before that, in his previous, 7 years, he's never looked this good.
Yeah,
Who might have believed that he's just randomly great now?
You gotta remember about what Daniel Jones did with the New York Giants in 2022. He won a playoff game.
What happened after that?
Well,
game?
they played the Philadelphia Eagles, and who else would lose to the Philadelphia Eagles? They made the Super Bowl that year.
All I'm saying is that the greatest of the great quarterbacks are able to get through those things, right? You talk about the Eagles that Daniel Jones lost to. Who beat the Eagles? Patrick Mahomes, who's actually a good quarterback, a great quarterback who can, deal with high-profile defenses. And there's a lot of those in the league. Daniel Jones is not a high-profile.
Daniel Jones only played 2 career playoff games.
Exactly. Who was that? Like, what does that say about him? He's only led his team to the playoffs.
It's
twice.
not all his fault. I mean, sure, he hasn't had a good New York tenure, but you look at Indianapolis, Shane Steichen has revitalized his career, and now he has a chance to go back into the playoff stage and perform and prove us all wrong. I mean, you got to give credit to Shane Steichen what he's done, but Daniel Jones, I feel a lot confident from Daniel Jones than his time in New York.
It's Daniel Jones, bro. Like, let's be real. Can we just be serious? This is Daniel Jones.
All right, you got to split this tie.
Oh, man. Can we actually be real and actually talk about the greatest NFL game probably this season, the Bears and the Bengals? Can I just say, what did I just watch? This could possibly be the game of the year. It's 10-7 after the first quarter. The Bengals lead. Bengals lead 20-17 after the second. The Bears finally take the lead after the third. And wow, what a crazy ending. Bengals scoring 2 touchdowns to take the lead. But then I'm thinking the game's over. I'm throwing the remote away. I'm turning off the TV. Colston Loveland, game-winning touchdown to give the Bears a 5-point lead. Man, what a game this was. Kyle Monangai, not bad for a 7th-round pick. 176 yards on 26 carries. Colston Loveland leading the team with receiving yards, 118. T. Higgins, though, he's pretty much unstoppable that game with 7 receptions and 2 touchdowns. Caleb Williams went 20 for 34 on 280 yards, but it's not as impressive as Unc Joe Flacco, 31 for 47, 4 touchdowns, 470 passing yards. Man, this was crazy.
I mean, the old quarterbacks of the NFL have been looking phenomenal this year, but I think the next thing that we have to talk about is we have to look forward, right? What is coming up in the league this year, or this week?
One of the NFL games I want to focus on this week is the Rams against the 49ers. This game has huge, gigantic NFC West implications here. I mean, of course, the Rams are currently tied with the Seahawks in the division 6-2, but the 49ers are a half a game back, and I'm going to be very interested. You know, everyone's thinking, oh, offense. These two have really good offenses. But these two defenses are very underrated in my eyes, especially the Rams. I know the 49ers have been dealing with injuries and that stuff, but look this one to be a little bit in the 20s, a little bit in the 20s, maybe upper 30s game, but I really like this matchup. Of course, 325 on Fox. Of course, we're probably going to get Kevin Burkhardt. Probably going to get Tom Brady on this one, so it's going to be a good one for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that one as well. I mean, I'm really excited. Is Brock Purdy going to play? I have him on my fantasy team. I've been starting Mac Jones for an embarrassing amount of time.
What if I said that Mac Jones might be putting up better numbers this year?
I mean, he is so far, but it's like
again,
it's
product
Mac
of Kyle
Jones.
Shanahan. That same conversation with Daniel
It's Mac
Jones.
Come on, be real.
You gotta give credit to the
You're gonna
coach.
sit here with a straight face and tell me you rather have Mac Jones than Brock Purdy.
Not right now, but Mac Jones.
You wouldn't even rather have Daniel Jones.
But
than Brock
Mac
Purdy.
Jones deserves a starting quarterback job in the NFL next year because of what he's doing right now with San Francisco.
He doesn't. He deserves to be a backup again. We've seen him as a starter.
He is the reason why the San Francisco 49ers are 6-3.
I'm not saying that Mac Jones is having a bad year, but you're not going to sit here with a straight face and tell me that Brock Purdy, at his full health, if he was 100% healthy, wouldn't make them better.
Well, I think that Purdy's the better quarterback, but I think right now Mac Jones is playing better.
Because Brock Purdy is hurt. He hasn't played. When's the last time Brock Purdy played? He's playing better than somebody who's not playing. Is that not impressive? Mac Jones is playing better than us because we've never played NFL football.
My thing is, I think that Brock Purdy is the quarterback going forward for San Francisco. But right now, I think Mac Jones should be a starting quarterback on another NFL team's roster.
The thing is, Mac Jones has proven that he's a phenomenal backup. When's the last time Mac Jones was a full-time starter? Was he good? No.
He was good his rookie year.
He was a rookie in what, 2020?
Yeah, but
we're going into 2026. 5 years.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
You started high school in 2020. You graduated in your sophomore year of college.
You tell me you would do well as a quarterback with Joe Judge and Matt Patricia as your offensive coordinators.
If I was a good quarterback and I had good talent, something would show.
Yeah, but your second year, you got to think about the growth and the processes here behind you. You can't just throw the quarterbacks under the fire right away. You got to let them sit for a little bit, let them learn into systems.
All right, I think you guys could just shut up for like 5 seconds. Can I talk about the Saints and the Panthers? We got terrible versus mid, Rattler versus Young. Can the Saints get their first away win? Because when the Saints come marching in and lose to the Panthers, that's what's probably going to happen unless they actually get the power of friendship and somehow pull off a massive upset against the team who beat the Green Bay Packers.
Joel maybe is very happy with your statement.
No, I mean, I think the Panthers are going to put a smacking on them. I don't even know if I'm going to watch that game. I might take a nap. Might take an early Sunday nap. But, I mean, speaking of bad games, I think we should look forward to our worst game of the week in the Jets versus the Browns.
Oh, yes.
The Jets literally just traded their entire team. Every single positive player on the Jets outside of Garrett Wilson was traded today.
This is tank bowl implications right here. I love myself some tank bowls. Fighting for that #1 draft pick in the NFL. This is going to be great. And plus, it's in MetLife. No better circumstances for this one. MetLife, see, I'm on that turf, just hoping nobody gets injured on that turf. But this is a perfect game to have the 2-6 Browns against the 1-7 Jets and a tank bowl. I'm looking forward to this.
I think the Jets are showing that they're really good at losing. They traded all their good players, but the only thing that the Browns are doing better, they're starting Dylan Gabriel. If there is one way to lose in the NFL, it's to start a trash left-handed quarterback. Look at the Dolphins and, look at the Browns. The Browns, since they started Dylan Gabriel, have been absolutely terrible. He sucks so much. And they traded away their only good quarterback, right? So now it's Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. And I would give Shedeur a chance, but I don't have a lot of faith in anybody in this Browns offense or really any of the rookie quarterbacks, for being honest. I love Shedeur, though.
Poor Tua. He's going to get a lot of shade.
No.
Poor Tua.
Why are you mad at? Tell him to play better. He's
you know
getting
how many
flack.
concussions he had?
Injuries are a part of sports, bro.
Yeah, I know, but like,
The biggest thing is Tua's a grown man, and he could have been like, hey, my head is not feeling good. I'm going to sit this one out. He kept coming back. I can't feel bad for you for making that decision for yourself, man. I feel bad, but I don't feel bad that you're playing bad because the thing is Tua wasn't that good pre-concussion, too. For being real, he had a good year in the new offense, and then ever since then, he's kind of been, and now he's hitting rock bottom, and him and Mike McDaniel are both going to have to chuck the deuces to the NFL sooner than later, I would think.
yeah, it's just kind of very sad about what's happened. But I agree with you there. But man, I just feel bad for Tua, man. I mean, I think his time in the NFL is definitely almost up here. I definitely have to agree with you. But man, I
think he's going to be a good backup, though. He's going to be a good backup.
Yeah, maybe become a Daniel Jones or a Mac Jones, like I previously mentioned. Maybe.
So looking forward or looking back, let's talk about our garbage play of the week. What was the dumbest thing that you've seen in sports? And I think the easiest thing to talk about is the Bengals defense, no?
Yeah, the Bengals defense, they are leaving off where they left last year. Boy, we were creating memes about that stuff, about Joe Burrow, like dropping 40 points but then losing. They're doing it with Joe Flacco too. I mean, I don't know. And the Bengals, with the front office, I blame the front office for this because Mike Brown or his owner and the GMs only gave Trey Hendrickson a year and $30 million. A year? It just shows me, like, they are very cheap. What they're doing in the offseason is very cheap. And they're not helping.
It's very cheap, and it shows that they don't really want to win. I think if you want to win, you have to invest assets at a high level. Every team that wants to win does it all the time. The Eagles, they just spent their third. They spent some of their sixth. They spent some fourths. They spent a lot of draft capital to, rough around or clean up around the edges on their trade deadline. The Bengals cheaped out and traded one of their better defensive players for a 7th-round draft pick. I mean, I just don't know what they're doing.
Can I just talk about something that actually happened last week? How about that Rashee Rice unsportsmanlike conduct penalty? He's just trying to toss the ball to the ref, and then bonk off the player's head. He gets benched. He gets unsportsmanlike conduct. Man, that's just not even close.
That's a rough one for sure. But thanks, team. But we're out of time. Stay tuned to UWW TV for more garbage next week. This has been Garbage Time on UWW TV.